Okay, so before we get started with my guest, Shamir Bay, tell us about the seminar that's coming to Detroit.
Okay. We have that beautiful brother out of Atlanta, Georgia, uh, Jonah Bay, that has to me, he has one of the answers to our freedom. And he ties all of it into our birth certificate. And he's coming into Detroit on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of August. It's a 3 day seminar, and it's a two-tier ticket sale. The first tier, which would be the VIP tier, it includes Friday with a meet and greet with Jonah from 7 to 10 p.m. And you would be allowed to ask or write down two questions that he will answer to the group that is there. Now that's for the VIP, the special group. Now, the main event starts Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd and 23rd of August, when Jonah will lay out the information on the birth certificate, how to authenticate it, and what does it mean to authenticate your birth certificate. He also will probably talk. Well, I'm going to do a small presentation in the beginning on the birth certificate. I have some information that is really revealing on how important it is, the birth certificate. But Jonah's going to pick up right after I finish. I'll do about an hour startup. Now, Saturday and Sunday, both days, it will start at 9 a.m. Saturday, 9 to 5, Sunday, 9 to 1. Jonah loves to go straight through. So we're going to set it up so that we can deal with him and the audience so that we can continue right straight through. We haven't worked out all the details yet, but we are working on it, and it will be a comfortable evening. Now, for you people that have certain medications and certain timetables for eating, I'd advise you to bring all of that with you. That's Saturday. Now, once the birth certificate and the affidavit is explained, then Jonah's going into how to discharge debt. And if everybody that I know of is in debt, America is in debt. You were born in debt. And that's the problem that we have that brings on so much animosity and anger and what have you, because everybody's in debt and you can't get out of it. So that will be Saturday's presentation. Sunday, we will start with the state constitution. We're going to use 1835. I have copies of it. I'm still running off copies, and we'll pass out copies of the Constitution. Jonah's going to explain the relevance of the Constitution, because once you authenticate your birth certificate, you are literally out of United States. That's going to be the most difficult problem that we will have, because most people think United States of America is one entity, and we are forced into it. We are not. It's a lie. It's a setup. It's a money grabbing scheme that the financiers and the international bankers set up back in 1913, and we've been suffering ever since. So I have knowledge of it. Jonah has the specific knowledge, because Jonah can relate it to the rules, the regulations, the laws, the statutes, and the directives that will protect you step by step. If we're going to get free and move into the next generation, we must, by all means, understand law. We don't have to practice law, but we have to understand law, where we can deal with our rights, not privileges, not benefits, rights. So that about covers it. Now it's going to be held in Detroit at 18846 West 7 Mile. It's a dance studio, a cabaret type affair. Well, and they have conventions and they have conferences there. And we'll probably seat a good 150 people. We're looking forward to 150 plus. So I would advise everyone to get their tickets. We have a special sale that if you buy a 4 ticket package, you can get it for a donation of 175 if you go for the package. Other than that, you have $100 VIP and you have a $50 standard. And let me remind you that the package is only for standard tickets, not the VIP. The VIP remains at 100 simoleons. If for more information, you can go to my website, ronmarch.com. Ron March, MARCH.com. And you go across the top where it says bulletins /events. And it will lay it out. It's very small print, but it tells you right on the site. Tap it, and it will enlarge itself. And you can order your tickets. There will be no tickets sold at the door. There'll be no money transacted for the 3 days. None. None. So you have to buy the tickets online. And once you purchase the tickets, we have 2 ways to buy it. You can go through PayPal, or you can use your own credit card, wherever it may be. You know what PayPal looks like, and we have I call it Spirit, but it's called Stripe. Stripe will take, you use any credit card you have, Stripe will use it and set it up, and you can get your ticket through Stripe. So I think that about covers it, unless you have something, Bev.
No, you said everything.
And I was sitting here getting ready to pull it up. I said, "Oh, I've been running that so long. I don't need to bring it up on the internet. I know what it's about." And we've been working hard to try to put it together. And you've been doing a wonderful job. And let me remind everyone in Detroit area that we are running promos at the Black radio station WHPR Wednesday of this week. Bev and I will do a simulcast from 6:30 to 7:30. Television, Comcast Television. I know Detroit is channel 90 in Detroit. And we'll still do our 6 to 8, but it'll all be merged into one program. So we start at 6, we end at 8. We're on Detroit television from 6:30 to 7:30. And we're going to blow it out that way.
And so the people that is not in Detroit, they can see it live stream on the internet, and that would be WHPRTV33.com.
Okay, I don't have that. WHPR TV 33. What? Say it again, Bev.
It's WHPR TV 33.
Yep.
And you can Google that, and it'll take you right to, and they can see us on the internet.
Okay. Well, they can do an app on that because, believe it or not, tomorrow morning, Bev, I'll be on at 8 o'clock doing a promo tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on the station because I'm going to start doing a weekly program on the station after the seminar is over.
Okay.
So they can practice in the morning at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can use your telephone your app, and you can go with WHPR TV 33, and you'll be able to pick it up, watch it. Then you can watch Bev and I the next day, Wednesday, and we'll go from there. Yep.
And I also have a show on Fridays at 11 o'clock a.m. on WHPR TV 33.
33,
okay.
Yes. Okay, go ahead,
right.
Bev.
So I'm going to pull my guest up, Shamir Bay. Sabir. I keep wanting to call him Shamir. Shamir Bay, and he is out of New York, and he has a new movie that is out. He's going to tell us about his movie, and then we can get into other topics. Shamir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Peace.
Peace to you.
Peace.
Thanks for coming on with us tonight.
Peace. Let me
brother.
correct too. You. Peace. What's going on, family? You were chopping my name up. I said,
What
wow.
I say? What I say?
Shamir, I don't know what. You know what? I might just change. I might change it to that.
Corrected it, because I know a Shamir. That's what it is, and I keep wanting to call you that, but it's Shamir.
It's only one Shamir. But I was like, oh my gosh, you chopping me up. I said, oh my gosh, man. Yeah, but actually, I'm not in New York. I'm actually in Texas right now, but I'm located in LA now. So
you in LA now?
So,
okay.
Yeah, I've been in LA for 4.5 years.
Wow, it's been that long since we talked.
Wow, yeah, because I believe when last time I did your show, I believe I was living in the Bronx. That's the crazy.
Yeah.
I remember walking around the corner talking to you on the phone.
Right.
That's how long ago it's been.
Okay.
I still remember that night. It was at nighttime.
Yeah.
And so I've been in LA for like about 4.5 years.
Okay. All right. Okay. So tell us about the movie that you have coming out.
First off, I want to give a shout out actually to everybody that's in Detroit. Before I get it started.
Okay.
The film is basically called Out of Darkness. Anybody can go online. If you go punch in my name, Shamir Bay, Out of Darkness, or you can go to outofdarknessfilm.com. Outofdarknessfilm.com. You actually see the documentary. If anyone that's listening to this program is familiar with Hidden Colors, it's on the same platform, but it's the same playing field, but it's a little different, totally different. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It was shot almost like in 3D, basically. You could go there and look at the trailer, but it has a host of different people, some of the same people. Now, I was in the first Hidden Colors, and it's a brother out of the Bay Area. And if he's listening on the phone, he's the director. We bumped into each other at an event. First it was online, and it was at an event a couple months ago with Brother James Smalls. And he was talking about doing something on the same platform as Hidden Colors. And I said, yo, okay, I'm with you on it. Let's do it. Because he was filming the event with Brother James Smalls and I. So I was like, yo, let's go ahead and do it. So, we just started shooting it. And it's about the solutions, not the problems. He analyzed a lot of things. This brother comes from a background of doing videos on MTV, BET, and all of that. He just wanted to have a change of heart and wanted to do something different. He reached out to me. We started talking. I said, well, let's start shooting it. What happened, we got Professor James Smalls in there, Brother Kaba is in there, Claude Anderson is in there, Joy DeGru is in there, Umar Johnson is in there, Taj Tariq Bey is in there, myself, Anthony Browder, Atlantis Browder, and Tim Wise. Those are the cast. That's the all-star cast is going to be in here. It's like basically 3 DVDs in one. It's going to be 3 in 1. They're broken down in chapters. So you're not just going to get one documentary. So we put out the Indiegogo for people to donate to the film. Like I said, it's going to be bigger than Hidden Colors. So right now, what we're doing is looking for movie theaters to have it shown. We're doing a Blu-ray. We have special editions that's coming out. It's coming on Blu-ray also. We're hitting movie theaters, venues, movie theater, like trying to have it in different places, basically. So we start in the first week of September, and it's going to be aired out at a lot of places. And on top of that, we're going to have the cast that's inside the film at the station, so we can actually talk about the film when we're done, so y'all can ask us some questions.
Okay. Now, where is this going to be at the grand opening?
Well, I believe the first place that we're doing is going to be Vegas. I know we have Vegas. I know we have Long Beach. We have San Francisco State. Also, I know we're looking at TSU. We're doing something in Howard University. Supposed to have that set up. Then Anthony Browder has something in D.C. also. So we're working on other places. It's just the finances getting that together. Because, like I said, it's like you're going to see a movie. You know, that's basically how it is.
Okay.
Oh, and I forgot New York. It's going to be at the second annual film festival in New York, also at the National Black Theater on the 29th.
Great. Okay.
Give me that title again, brother. Give me the title again.
The film is called Out of Darkness Films.
Yep. Okay.
Film, not film, film.com. That is the website. But if you want to see the trailer also, you can punch in my name. It should be much easier to come up also, because some people punched in Out of Darkness and other stuff came up. But if you punch in Shamir Bay, that's SABIRBEY, huh?
Yep, I'm with you.
Oh, yeah, you can go to Building 7 too. Shamir Bay at Out of Darkness Film, or you can punch in Building 7, like you spell the word 7 out.
Yep.
And it actually will come up. You will actually see other things up there.
Yep. All right.
Okay, so, and also, you will actually see, we shot 2 episodes. I have an actuality show, not reality. It's called Actuality Show that we taped also. We shot the second one about 3 or 4 weeks ago in L.A. also. So it's a lot of stuff we're working on. We have another doc coming out about the Moors in North America also later on down the line, about a couple months. It should be shooting in about another month.
Okay.
All right. So tonight, I understand you're going to talk about the right to travel. Is that correct?
Man, I don't even know. It might be anything. My thing is, I hear that a lot. Sister Beverly and I want to thank her again because, again, I haven't been on this show in a long time, and I say this to a lot of people, and I have to really love Sister Beverly.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you, because I don't do. It's nothing personal against Blog Talk Radios. I'm used to radio. I did radio since 2003, and there is a total difference between doing radio and Blog Talk. There is a difference that's there, and I have a different form of professionalism dealing with it. You know what I mean? I always like to open up phone lines. I don't like to have people waiting. There's a lot of things. It's a habit of doing it since 2003. I do a radio show where I just left in June in L.A. I was at L.A. Talk Live. It was a radio show in L.A., and I'm actually getting ready to go back to another one when I go back in September. But it was like a standoff with me with the Blog Talk, but I know that this is one of our forms, because really when you're dealing with certain shows, they only target, I say, preaching to the choir people. You're only going to get those types of people. And we need to reach a larger audience so everybody can understand what's going on, even down to this right to travel, because I travel a lot, and it's different in every state you may go to. So Sister Beverly and I was on the phone. I'm pondering how I'm going to do this, which way we're going to do it. I said, let the people ask questions, because if people are saying or selling people's documents, and this is what I hear when I travel, for some reason, Brother Taj and myself, our names come up in conversations, as we selling packages, and we don't sell packages. This is why I like this forum, because if you have a problem, you can give me a call or ask me on the air, not in private, because what happens, people are selling people documents, which is not, it's really doing nothing but hurting you, for real. I'm keeping it 100. And then when we travel, people ask us these questions at these lectures. Well, you and Sabir are selling packages. When we don't sell packages, we tell you, pay us for our time. That's it. This is where I'm at. Pay me for my time, and I'm going to show you something. Because majority, and I'm going to keep this 100, 99% of this information that people are dishing out, they either got it from Brother Taj or myself. 99%. And they just flip it in their own words. 99%, because most of them have not done the research. They look at videos. They hear with little bits and pieces, and then they run off and say, well, I figured this out. Now give me $4,000 for something. You see what I'm saying? This is what is happening.
That's been going on.
I'm just keeping it 100. If I'm wrong, they can. If they're listening in, they can call me and challenge me on air right now. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. But this is what is happening. You see what I'm saying? They will never tell you where they got their sources from. And this is one thing I do when I speak. I'm gonna tell you where and how, and my sources, where they come from. Majority of these people do not tell you where their sources come from, and that's why when people get jammed or get hurt, what they do is say, "Well, that stuff don't work." You see what I'm saying? Oh, that Morris stuff don't work. That has nothing to do with Morris information. Not at all. The UCC one stuff, I was there in Philadelphia in 1997 with this. I was in the rooms when this stuff started. I remember when all this stuff started. We used to have those documents. I say to people, if you have a right to travel, then don't say you have to have a card to say right to travel. You just travel. You know, follow me? Ain't that plain?
Yes.
Mama said make it plain, so I'm making it plain for you. Just travel. You know, but the problem is most people can't verbally argue those issues. So they want to shoot you a piece of paper and say, yo, I bought it off of such and such. You know? So when we do our lectures, we're trying to get you to invest in yourself to buy books or get into something else. But don't buy paperwork. Because trust me, they're going to challenge you on this. They're going to challenge you on everything that's being presented to them in front of you. And it's going to make you look crazy as hell. And I don't understand why people pay money to these people who are misleading people. I was listening to something recently, just now, and I'm not even going to get into that, but I'm going to hold that, you know. But I have a problem with a lot of things, man, and I don't like people to get in trouble. That's just it. It's just I don't want no one to get in trouble. If you ever go to my show, the Shamir Bay show on LA Talk Live, you will actually hear me talk about these things. I explain it. And the platform is totally different. You're reaching a different audience. And then you sit with these people because they want to ask you certain questions. You know, what is this? And they ask me all about this sovereignty thing and the Morris piece. And I'm like, sovereignty is within your birthright. It's not something that you go pay for. It's in your birthright. You can't be a diplomat in your own land. That's foolishness for people to say that. A diplomat is someone coming into a foreign land. You follow me? So you cannot. We did this in Philadelphia. At Independence Mall, we used to see the diplomats down there with all their cars, and we used to go and say, wait a minute, something ain't right here. You can't be a diplomat if this is our land. You follow me? So when you hear people say, well, I'm a diplomat, how? Where do you get that information from? You see what I'm saying? When you hear people talking about I'm tax exempt, what? No, you asking someone to exempt you. You're non-tax. You never hear Indians say, I'm exempt. No, that's not taxed. Read the Constitution. Majority of these people who are telling people this stuff, they don't tell people. The first thing they get in every state is your state constitution. I do classes in Long Beach every Wednesday. We go, my assistant and I, Karen McGee, we go and pick up constitutions for the class. You follow me? We go get these books and give them out, which all your state senators, your council people supposed to supply that for y'all. That's not Karen and our job, but we doing jobs of a person that's a council member. So this is what we do. Another thing we tell people to get is the motor vehicle law book of your state and study it. The problem is people don't want to study it. So now someone can come along that you don't even know or say, well, yo, you got 15, you know, how much? You know, $1,500 to get out of such and such. No, dude, we told you to go spend $50 to $100 on a motor vehicle law book. Study it thoroughly. Your constitutions are free in every state. The home rule charters of every city may be from $9 to $12. The home rule charter of every city, go pick them up. This is what they should be teaching when they go out there and talk to people, instead of saying, yo, give me $1,500. You follow me? So that's how we teach. Everywhere I go, I do that. This is what I do here. And I listen to shows. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to say the scenario of United States of America is different from anything that I can think of or know of in history, meaning we have invaders here that came in, set up on the East Coast, what they call the 13 colonies, and then they began to steal the land and spread out with different types of mechanisms that they created. So when you are living here, you struggle to find the path to freedom. And they're going to fight you on every turn. Yes, this is our land, America, but they also claim it to be their land because of United States of America and the Buck Act, if you will, that they think they own everything across the continent. So when you find people that are uneducated, mad as hell, in debt, they look for any type of salvation in order to get out from under it. It's a smooth operation.
Exactly.
I'm very aware of Taj. I've never met you, but I've met Taj. Taj has been to my house. He's been on my programs. And one thing about Taj is so well versed. Taj can go in anyone's court and light them up. But I don't know too many people that can do that.
And let me tell you something, and that's so true. I've been under Taj, brother, for probably 15 years. I came under another brother by the name of Kamar. I purposely backed away from things. That's all you have to do is Google my name. You'll exactly see what I do. I purposely walked away because of a lot of stuff that I've seen, that I've been in, not necessarily involved in, and I've seen it evolve to where it's at now. I am a researcher. I will research the researcher. That's how I was told. So when I was there in courtrooms, I understand everything that's happening. Your fight is not in the courtroom. I'm gonna keep this 100 with people. Your fight,
right? When I did that,
I was constantly being locked up in '98 and '99, and sitting back with my son was a baby, and I'm saying, "Whoa, this is not it." And what happens? I started a show in 2003 in Philadelphia, and what happened? It took me to really get into what Noble Drew Ali was talking about and what Malcolm said. These two great men said. Malcolm said the oppressed is the media. We love. He said the media will make you love your oppressor and hate the oppressed. That's what Malcolm said.
Yes.
Noble Drew Ali said the most powerful tool in our hands is the press. So what did I do? I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to fight you that way. I'm going to fight you in the media. Right now, from every celebrity, if you mention my name to them, they will tell you exactly who I am. I had to go a different route. To every most politician, they know exactly who I am. This is what I'm saying. When you go to them, take it to their front door, not in their courtroom, because once you're in their courtroom, that's their courtroom, unless you have an army. And most of these cats is not going to be there when you get locked up. When you turn around, they're not there. We haven't yet to come together as one. See what I'm saying? We have not yet. And really, unless you have finances, you're going to have to fight these people. What I watch, as my brother Todd said, you have a lot of charlatans. Again, I'm coming in. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. My stuff is an open book when I'm on the radio. I give y'all law classes on air if you ever watch them. Most of the stuff that people come on the show and say, even these celebrities, if you watch them on my show, they never knew this. They say, wait a minute, brother, where do you get? Wait a minute, hold up. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving it to you for free, something that you would learn in college. So again, yes, we can go into all of that, but if you do not have a standing army to back you, it sounds good. Again, I travel from state to state. When I hear people mention, well, you don't need X, Y, and Z to travel, to go from one airport. Anybody, come on, let's be realistic with it. I didn't been from probably L.A. to Texas, from Texas to Atlanta, and back and forth on planes all across this state. Many different airports, many different personalities when you go through there. When people say that you don't need X, Y, and Z, okay, to get on a plane, they're lying. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's a lie. I'm having expired ID. It's been over a year. I know what they put me through. I know what I tell them when I go to the airport. I literally had to get to a point to say, if you don't think this is who I am, Google my name and punch in images. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is how you have to deal with these people. But what I'm saying to you, that when people just tell people that, oh, brother, that's all you need is X, Y, and Z. No, you don't. Because trust me, it's not that easy. Or they're going to give them some type of ID and not going to tell y'all, the listening people, that they showed them an old state ID or whatever. Let's be open with all of this. All my stuff says Shamir Bay.
Well,
so when I know how I have to maneuver, I just went through something with the. Hold up, let me explain something to you people. I just went through something with the passport administration just now. Now, someone just asked me that in New York, 125th Street yesterday before I came back to Texas. Shamir, do you have a passport? Yeah, why not? Shamir, do you have a driver's license? Yeah, why not? He was kind of dumbfounded. And I said, well, brother, do you have an AT&T phone? He said, because having that give them jurisdiction. I said, but do you have an AT&T phone or T-Mobile or Verizon? He said, yeah. I said, well, do that give them jurisdiction over you? He had to think about it for a minute. I said, because once you're versed in the law and have good diction, no one can have that over you, no matter what you have. It's you that have to study the contracts. It's you that say that they have jurisdiction, because law is based on consent. Once you consent to it, this is how I teach people. So no matter what I have, you never have jurisdiction over me. It's the same way I'm dealing with the ID. When I go through the airport, the guy said, well, your ID expired. I said, well, do it look like I expired? Basic. You follow me? Dealing with the passport, they just told me I didn't probably give them everything but blood. No lie. At the passport place. Why I went to go get a passport is because I was missing out on jobs overseas. There was places I could have been in Dubai and other Brazil, and they telling me Bambada told me I should get it, but know how to use it. They asked me for my baptismal, my birth certificate, oh man, I put out court records with Shamir Bay on it from 1998. You see what I'm saying? But I had to figure out why. Why? So when people say that you don't need it, or you get a certain other kind of passport or ID, that don't mean that that's going to work over this particular area. I'm just keeping it real for people. The thing is that know your tools, become that master mason, know how everything works. I just left Tijuana with a regular expired state ID, but the thing is that he knew who I was when I was going through the border, so they stop you if anybody ever went to Mexico. You know what I mean? But it's you and how you operate. I don't want to sell you a package. I want to show you how to maneuver what you have, if that's you. You follow me? So what you should do, and I tell everybody, is to make a paper trail of everything that you do.
Okay, with your journey where you are today, how long do you think it would take the rank and file brother or sister to get where you are? Or even how long will it take you? And I'm going to just challenge this because I don't know this. I was thinking about Taj. I know Taj knows everything, not everything, but most things when it comes to freedom. Taj got the whole package, or can tell you where to find it. So how long do you think it would take for us, 40, 50 million black folks, to get ourselves in a position to even be aware of freedom under the teachings or the research that you're telling us today?
Let me give you a quick one. When you start saying that you're free, I just started. You see what I'm saying? When you say or think it that I'm free. Now, the other part to this is that people have to arm themselves with this information. They have to invest in this. Lock yourself in the room, like I say in my class. Or lock yourself in the room with a bunch of books and just study. Like when I pull out books, if you go on my Instagram or my Twitter or whatever, you will always see me pull out Miseducation of the Negro, 100 Amazing Facts about the Negro, 100 Amazing Facts about the Negro, Miseducation of the Negro, Sex and Race, Ancient and Modern Brits, books like that, The Art of War, the Machiavelli. I'm giving you books, because all through those books is going to tell you how to free yourself. So the problem is most of us don't want to read. We look for a microwave way out of it.
Right. I heard.
What about the people that can't? What about the people that can't read? We got a lot of illiteracy.
Well, everybody, listen. Let's be realistic. Everybody can read. If you can't read and you grown, there's a problem. And then also, this is what it is. It's not even necessarily for us. When I'm doing what I'm doing for my posterity. You follow me? Because we're not going to see it in our lifetime, but we have to set the trend for it to happen. You see what I'm saying? When I'm doing it, it's like norm to me. So I move a certain way, and I live by my example. That's all I have. So I'm living by my examples the way I move. And I'm going to say, look, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to prove it to you. I ain't going to tell you anything. There was an elder who passed away, Brother Aleem. He said, when someone say something, tell them to prove it to you. Don't tell me, prove it. Show me. He used to say that. Show and prove. Don't show me yours. Don't show me something else. Show me what you did. Yeah. And this is why it's important to document and record everything when I move. Yeah. So when you're versed in it, like again, if you watch my shows, I will challenge the top of the top people. When I did TMZ and challenged TMZ and said if I was wrong when they was talking about the Moors, I challenged them. It's on YouTube if you punch in Shamir Bay TMZ. What I do is do it purposely. and say, now, if I'm wrong on anything, come get me, challenge me on open air. They're not going to do that. And again, Sister Beverly, everybody can read. Most of the stuff that I read is basically a 6-year-old can read. It's how you read it. And one thing that Brother Abdullah Bay says, we read but don't know how to read.
Yeah, because I know some people
I don't hear none of these
read, but they can't. They comprehensive.
They can't comprehend.
They can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's
now,
true.
Listen,
that is so true. But
today, for the first time, I heard that the shooting they had over the weekend down in Ferguson, one of the guys that did the shooting was at the same school with Brown, Michael Brown, that got killed down there. And they said, now listen carefully, they said that there are 3 unaccredited high schools in Ferguson, and nobody says anything. Now, think about that for a minute. And we're talking about freedom, if you will. And everyone has its own interpretation of being free. You know, there used to be a time if you had a job and worked at General Motors, you was free with a Cadillac or a Ford or whatever. My uncles used to run that crap to me. You know, I'm free. I got this. I got that material things. But now you go back and they've turned the system has turned the education program so far around that they're graduating or are putting children out of school that can't spell cat, can't spell dog, that type of thing. And they all are catching hell because they're standing in a debt. So, you know, I'm listening to you, but I got a problem with it. That's all. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Listen to this.
I told
Taj
right.
You got a problem. Listen.
Yep.
Listen, that's all good. But listen, what people need to do is study etymology or study the etymon. When someone says something, go research what that is. It has nothing to do with a European. Nothing. So when I hear people saying this is your, how to capture your birth certificate, it's not mine. It's theirs. It's nothing to do with me. So it's like you selling somebody a dream. It's not mine. It's theirs. You don't understand that someone just got locked up probably 3 years ago for burning a birth certificate, right? How could you get locked up for burning something that's supposed to be yours? Think about it for a moment. Oh, yes, brother, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Do not take the bear's word for it. Research everything. And this is what I'm saying. They're not going to tell you. The people that's telling people this stuff is not going to tell you that unless they didn't do the research on it. As a radio personality, one thing I know that you don't go to the radio and just say anything because you better back up everything that you're talking about. So if I hear something from anybody from off of any kind of social media, from YouTube, which I don't get on, or Facebook, I got to research you. I'm going to find out what the hell you're talking about before I go to the radio and speak it, because now you have to go back and recant everything that you said. And I haven't did that in probably 13 years on my show. I never went back and said anything because I researched it first with factology. Again, if you're not teaching the people language, it has nothing to do with Europeans. Nothing. It's just basic language. You can never spell anything wrong. Nothing wrong. And a lot of things that children are doing, maybe they need to be put out of the school. Maybe we need to start acting as a village again and start having these little circles instead of trying to get rich schemes all the time. And this is what is happening. And this is why people are clowning on the conscious community right now.
Wait, brother. Wait. That is the perfect idea, but you're not realizing that there's a law against you not going to their schools. You know, we catch hell in urban America in public schools. And when they turn over the system to charter schools, a lot of people don't understand that charter schools in certain areas are nothing more than private schools. So the parent who was paying
but we need our own schools.
Say what? Well, who's talking that? You got all them Uncle Remus Negroes out there.
You know who was talking that? You know what? You know who was talking that? And let me share this with you. Some people may not agree with this brother. They may not agree with Brother Umar. They might not agree with him.
I'm hip to
everything he said. But the thing is,
I'm hip to him.
Okay, but the problem is we are doing that. It's people who are trying to do that. But when you have, my thing is like when people are selling these documents, right? Ask them where a percentage of this is going at. What do you produce? Listen, hold on. Let me explain something to you with this, brother. Let me explain something to you, right? I know Brother RJ. in Detroit.
Yes.
I've been in his spaces many times before. I look at this man and I said something one day. I was talking to him. I said, dude, you need to be global, dude. I said, this is what you have in your hands is gold. This is what I told Brother RJ. This is a while ago. I don't even know if he remember me saying this because I've been in media for so long. I said earlier when I started, the most powerful tool in our hands is the press. We don't invest in any of that. Now, mind you, I told you, I've been there for a minute. Brother Abdullah Bay, our etymologist, started a newspaper. The paper wasn't being supported. Okay? That's a learning tool, right? That's a learning tool. It wasn't being supported. I said, let's try a different route on what we're doing. Let's go a different route and create, go to a larger audience. Now, this is the business part coming in. I sat with Claude Anderson, which he's going to be in that documentary, to Out of Darkness with Solutions. He said one of the most powerful things is he said is the media, and he pointed to me and said, I think he said that was the second floor or the third floor. He said is what you're doing. It need to be back, or you have to buy a politician. Which one are we going to do? It don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Is that I've seen so much again in my travels that people are not everything that they're telling somebody, they're paying. They say, oh, you shouldn't pay this, or you should discharge this. Okay. But then why are you still paying your phone bill with notes? Because trust me, reality or factology, your phone will be cut off if you don't pay them notes. I don't care what any of these people are saying. Understanding your tools, understanding the instruments that you have. You see what I'm saying? It's when you're watching court cases, it's not about pushing paper. If you watch the court cases, it's about verbal battle back and forth. So now if you get with me in a courtroom, which I really don't go in because I used to be arrogant when I used to go in there, is that I'm going to be battle with you verbally. Okay, there's a difference. But I understand now what kind of courtrooms I'm in. I'm not in constitutional courts. I'm in legislative creative courts. So now I have to study what a legislative creative court is.
I hope you don't come to Detroit and get in court and be in court.
I don't do. Listen. I would never do that. See, the thing is, the game is not to be in there. My courtroom is wherever I'm at. If I'm on radio, it's court. Problem is that I've reached the masses before we get to this point. Before we get to that point, now the world, like CNN plays the same thing in rotation. And if you watch CNN, they play that same part over and over. It's sucking your subconscious mind. So now you thinking that's what it is. This is what I do with my shows. So now you can play it in rotations. Now everybody's watching and saying, well, wait a minute. Maybe it is some fidelity into that. Maybe he's doing something. Maybe it might be right. Even the ones that may be against it. And what I'm saying to you, brother, our fight is not always in a courtroom. So every time I'm turning around, we keep saying, don't go such as a dude. Why? Why would you put the energy out there? I'm not going to go there regardless. I'm in racist Texas. Been back and forth. I haven't been in a courtroom yet. But put me on the radio and I'm going to show you something. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about me always going in a courtroom.
Right. My comment was, I hope you don't have to go in any courtroom in Michigan, because Michigan is on a speedy program from the White House in order to do what they're doing in regards to the bankruptcy. We just had one of the biggest racists in Detroit put out an article. I mean, this guy, his name is Nolan Finley, and he put out an article the other day and said, we, talking about Europeans, should rebuild black bottoms. The article went on to say that it was destroyed in the 60s with a expressway that knocked out restaurants, hotels, all of the black financial institutions. It was wiped out. Now this white boy has been here in Detroit way back in the 60s, before Coleman Young and all through Coleman Young, and he was ripping all black folks all during that period of time. Now all of a sudden, this month, it was on the 7th of this month, he put out this new approach on what's going on. So I'm bringing that up to say we have so many outside attractions and so much attack in Michigan because they're trying hard to do bankruptcies like they did in 1933, but they want to do it now in one at a time on every city across America. They're getting ready to move into Chicago and do a bankruptcy now. Now, I know that there's no such thing as a bankruptcy with the CAFR, the Comprehensive Audit Report, Financial Report. It was set up in 1933 in order to stop all municipalities from going into bankruptcy. But nobody wants to talk about it. This is where I get frustrated when I hear people.
Listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got you, but listen to what you just said. Where are our people on the radios in Detroit? Because I've been at one of y'all stations there. I think it's one of the biggest. I don't know. What's the one on Woodwork or one on? I don't know. It's somewhere. It's Radio 1.
1200. Radio 1. 1200. 1200. It's ran by Boulay, AKA.
It wasn't 1200. It wasn't 1200. It's Radio 1, but it wasn't 1200. I think that was in a building. But where are our people on that station now? This is what happens with them. If you're not putting money up to have someone placed there, because this is what they do with these big businesses. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes,
we should have someone that we can place there that can put this out to the masses of people on that station. This is where I'm at with it now. We should have people putting up money to have a newspaper to counter that. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said this: you don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water, just sit a clean one up beside it. So what are you sitting up beside that? To compete with them. And this is also an art of war. So once you understand that, I don't care what they do, but if you put me on a platform, this is why I hunt them the way I do. And say, if I'm wrong, then come get me. If I'm wrong, challenge me on what I'm saying on the open air, because I'm going to go toe-to-toe with you.
Yeah, that's very good. But what they did in Detroit, they put myself and Beverly, we were on, I was on the radio from 72 to 2000 and about, 3 or 4. And then, it was later than that, because when they brought in the white mayor put money in the black station and said, you can keep the money, but Ron March has to go. So they came up and told me, he said, Ron, you can't be using that language and all that attack. I said, well, listen, there's no need of me being on the air. If I got to conform to the bull crap that we've been fighting all the time, that's not me. So I got off the air. So now you got all them.
No, I agree with you.
Them jackleg preachers. You got other day. Now let me just run this, and I'm gonna shut up. Let me just say this. A preacher on the air the other day was talking about what we got to do to be better citizens for the United States. He played a video. This preacher on the pulpit was preaching. He said this: in the Asian community, the dollar flips 30 times. In the Jewish community, 20 times. And he went on and on and on. And then when he got to the black community, he said, don't say a year, don't say 30, don't say it only lasts 6 hours in the black community. So I'm sitting there looking at this. I'm about to go bonkers with these two idiots talking this mess. So I said to myself, if the black church is the largest commercial financial institution across America, it seems like they would unite, put that money together, open up some type of loan or lending institution, and train blacks to build businesses and move into like you say, put the clean glass next to the dirty glass. But have you ever talked to a preacher and try to tell him, why don't y'all take them monies on Monday rather than take them to 20 or 30 different banks and let them give you an apple and good morning Rev and all that bull crap? Have you ever thought about building the black community? They don't even want to talk about it. So how do you and Claude Anderson was here and tried to do it, and they ran him out of here talking that stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The thing is that I'm gonna read something to you, and it's funny that you said that. I'm gonna read something from the miseducation of the Negro about the church, and it sucks on. It says, while serving as the avenue of the oppressor's propaganda, the Negro church, although doing some good, has prevented the union of diverse elements, has kept the race too weak to overcome the foes who have purposely taught Negroes how to acquire and fight for tariff or something like this. Is in the 1920s, 30s, something like that, until the enemies have overcome them. But this book, his writing is a little different because he wrote this book like in 1920s or 30s. So the language may be a little different. But what he was saying about the propaganda of churches. Now, the reason why I walked away from radio from the first time is the same reason why you did with while you walked away. So I had to reinvent myself and come another way. This is why my new show is called Pure Edutainment. Education and entertainment. I'm going to give you both so you won't feel threatened. You see what I'm saying? So it's on how you maneuver within it. Because if they know that you're coming this way, they're going to say, wait, they're going to shut the door.
How long have you been on the new,
you say something?
On your new form? How long have you been doing that?
This new form I've been on going on 4 years out in L.A. Going on 4 years. I'm actually left that one to go to another station.
Would you call it a success? The new form, is it working?
You know what? It's a very good success because I just told you how I had to revamp it. If you go to my show, you will see mostly a lot of the celebrities that come on there. I don't just focus on one group of people. All my shows are not based on it. I know how to intertwine or mix things up in it. You see what I'm saying? So you have to know how. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You just have to know how to maneuver in it. That's all. Like I said, I don't plan it out. I don't think about it. I just say, okay, this is how we're going to just do it. Let's flow with it. And that's sitting down with people that's in the industry. Because one of my shows I gave to a radio station, and the guy told me it might cause riots. Now, mind you, I don't call people devils because I don't believe in that. I don't run around and call people white because they're not white. You see what I'm saying? So when I gave the CD to the brother, he told me, it was a brother because it's always Negroes. He said, well, what you're talking about may cause riots. Now, this is a show that has something to do with hip-hop. It was KRS-One and I. But the brother said, yo, it might cause riots. Now, that same station I just won on in L.A. And now they saying, yo, we're going to move stuff around just to have you on the show. Because I understand the time now. It's the time now. We're in the age of Aquarius. People want to know. So I understand it's a time frame. People want everything right now, right at this moment, like a microwave. No, nature's going to take its course. Noble Drew Ali said he's going to make the European tell the truth. That's what he said. See what I'm saying? So let the stuff flow. We're going against the river instead of flowing with it. So what happens, this is why we're getting caught up. When people ask me things about traveling and this, and I'll be like, dude, I just live. You know what I mean? The spirit, I don't claim a religion, but my spirit moves, and it will let me know. You see what I'm saying? And they will see your light. They will see your light. That's all. It's going to happen. You know, and that's why every time I get a chance, and Brother Todd, Shamir Bay, and myself, we're doing a lecture out here in Dallas together. And that's why I said every time I do something, I'm going to bring Todd, because Todd is like a person like a Dick Gregory or whoever you want to claim. You know what I mean? And they pay these dudes $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 just to speak. He's no different than Dan Al Sharpton, but people will get $20,000 to have Al Sharpton come and tell you a lie. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with me. You know, you would take advantage of what I'm saying to you. You know what I mean? And would never say, yo, Shamir, what do you need? You see what I'm saying? And many people say, yo, Shamir, stop doing that. You're weighing yourself too thin. Like, why you know what I mean? But I understand fair trade.
Well, I'm listening to you, and I don't know. Everybody has to get on their path and move what's comfortable with their heart. And there's no right way, there's no wrong way, because you should know that some things work and some things don't work. I don't care how successful you are. You know how to back out of something, but then you look over next door, the person is doing it, what you just did and failed, they did it and it worked. So the door is open.
I agree.
So, I
agree with you.
You just really can't do that. Because, see, Taj, I had Taj on my show probably. Next time you see Taj, just ask him about Ron March in Detroit. I had him on my show at least 6 times, him and Abdullah. And it was a very, very, very enlightening. But it just is not enough. People are still hungry for more.
No. I got you. Listen, let me clear this up for everybody too. I may not 100% agree, and Taj knows this. May not agree with a lot of stuff. The way he go with things. You know what I mean? But I'm a different kind of researcher and studier. I mean, I literally am like I said, if someone says you have a right to travel, I just say travel. Now, some people say, well, Todd said X, Y, and Z. I said, well, what you should do is do your due diligence and do the research on it. Now, because something worked in Jersey, that don't necessarily mean that it's going to work in Texas. You see, let's be real. This is all I'm saying. But if something worked in Texas, that don't mean that it's going to work in, California. You see what I'm saying? But one thing I do tell you that they do have in common, is every last city has a home rule charter. Every last city has a state constitution. Every last city has a motor vehicle law book, and basically they're almost the same. You follow me?
Yep.
That's basic right there, right?
Yes.
I don't say you shouldn't do that. I tell you what you should know what a ticket is. You follow me? I will teach you if they say this is a summons, then define summons or citation, because they're two total different things. That's all I'm saying to you. It's like playing chess. It's just know which one is what, and that's universal. That's global. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's global.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. Rather it work for you. I just don't agree with people who say that.
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm sorry. I was just.
I don't want to make it seem like it's just me and you. But can we take Mr. Beverly? I got to go into my radio mode. I don't want to make it seem like it's just me and him. But if they have phone calls, if they want to ask the question, they can ask the question, because it's like me and him. But I don't want to. This is what I'm saying about. I'm a two-way talk kind of person. So I like to talk to the people, because I know there's things that people want to ask and they just can't. And then they say, oh, it's not enough time. So I like to always open up the phone lines and say, look, let's ask people to call in if they have a question.
Okay. And
that's what I'm saying about them. It's like we're just blogging, just talking back and forth. You follow me?
Right. Well, for those that would like to join in the conversation, you can call 347-215-8041. That's 347-215-8041, and push the number 1, and I can see you. Raise your hands. And somebody in the chat room say that we need to start educating ourselves.
That's true.
And there you go. And that person is so right.
American laws and justice, with the
Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah.
Carter G. Woodson said this, and I'm quote his book again. I always quote him, and I quote whoever and say where I got it from. This is what he said: the Negro should know the laws and the he said he should know the Constitution and the laws and the interpretations of the court, not because he wants to be an attorney, but he must know the laws of the land. Around that, in Miseducation of the Negro, he talks about this, right? And that person who said that is absolutely right. And the problem is we're not teaching that, and this is where I'm at. It's like I'm teaching you this. I'm not selling you anything. But if you want me to speak on that, then I will come to speak on that to free you. That's how, because everything you're looking for is already in you. It's just that nobody's pointing it out. Everything.
Now, what about the law that what we're dealing with is the color of law? So we still need to know that and understand that, even though it's really not the true law, the true Constitution.
Well, first of all, they're dealing with a term. It's called statutory law. In law schools, they're taught statutory laws. That's what they put policies, basically. They don't teach anything about constitutional laws until you go into a higher degree. That's when you start going into. But what they teach in schools is called public policy or something like that. It's not necessarily constitutional law. They don't get into that yet.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get into that. But the color of law, I mean, people throw that word around a lot. Color of law. Something that appears to be real, but it's not. Okay, I got that part. All right. People will run that down, say it applies to color people. Yeah. So go ahead.
But isn't a statute not a law?
Is it?
Is a statute a law?
A statute can be a law. It can be a law of a state.
No, I didn't ask. No, I didn't ask you. Can it be? I ask you, is a statute a law?
No, it's not.
All right.
Let me explain to you what it is.
Wait a minute, and I'll shut up. That's where color of law comes from. Statutes are color of law.
I got you, but see, I know I got you on that. I got you, but that don't mean that it's wrong. You follow me? It does not mean that it's wrong. What people are telling people, people are telling people the color of law means X, Y, and Z, but it applies to corporate businesses or corporate entities. This is what it is. That's what they're dealing with. So how do they make you a corporate entity? I got that part. They made you a corporate entity through the Buck Act. I'm with you on all that. But majority of the people don't understand it. But you have to teach the people this. And in law school, they are taught certain things. And this is why you pay them big bucks.
But
they
wouldn't
know
it
the
be
ins and outs
better
of all this stuff.
Wouldn't it be better to teach them that law, that statutes are not law, and statutes go
most
with the
definitely.
birth certificate? Okay. So the birth certificate is the key.
No. Let me explain. Let me explain something to you. The birth certificate was. Oh, man, I did a show, and I'm trying to remember how it was. I did a show, and I cannot find it. And I did the research on where birth certificates came from. One was dealing with a tax issue. That's what it was. It was something dealing with a tax. Oh, my God. I got to go back to my archives for my show because I had everything laid out. And I put stuff on Facebook as I move along to explain stuff to people, how this stuff came about, you know, and where the passport and all that stuff came about and how it's linked into taxes. You know, it was. I did a whole show on it. I just don't remember where it was at.
Just give an overview of what you think a birth certificate is or what you think you said on that particular show. Or do you know that there are...
Brother, I couldn't even remember.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. Do you know
I couldn't even remember. I would have to go back.
Okay. Do you know that there are 2 different birth certificates for everyone? 2 different. Completely different. Did you know that?
Well,
there is a state birth certificate.
What do you mean 2 different birth certificates?
I'm telling you now. There is a state birth certificate.
No. Don't tell me. Where can I find that information at? Listen, if you say that, right? If you say that, then I would say I know about the state one. Period. I just told you what I just went through with the passport people. If you're saying that there is another one,
yes.
No, I'm on that. I'm on that.
Yes.
But when you cannot just tell me anything. I'm saying to you, you can send it over to me or tell me. I have a computer.
I have mine. They sent me my state first, and then I got the other birth certificate. So it is 2 birth certificates.
Hold up. What does the other one say?
Wait a minute. Let me deal with this. With this. If you have the state,
I want to see what.
Go ahead.
No, Ron can tell you. He can explain it better than I can. I just went through the process.
Okay.
The state birth certificate is a long. The state birth certificate is in a long form, and the writing on it is cursor, which means that it's upper and lower caps. The county birth certificate is a short form and is all caps. And the date of issue of each are different. And the date of the county is always later than the date of the state.
Hold up. Let me explain something to you. I got you. Let me explain something to you. With that. I got you on that. I know now, but you made it seem like it was different. I got you. It's all the same. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what just happened, what you're talking about, right? The one that you're talking about, they call it a long sheet. I'm going to tell you what they just... Hold up. I'm explaining to you, brother, because I just went through this. I'm going to explain it to you. I just went through this with the passport people. The form that you're talking about, I have one, right, with my name written in upper and lower case, right? Cursive.
Yes.
That was that one. Yes. And I took that to the passport people, right? They rejected and said, no, we can't use this one. We need the long form. Now, mind you, the long form that you're talking about, I got you. That's what you're talking about. I got that part. One is this for mom filled out. No. I thought you made it seem like it was something about federal, whatever. I got you on that. But listen to what I'm saying to you as far as law again.
It is federal.
Wait a minute.
No. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Listen, browse over that. You didn't.
Let me explain.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and explain.
Hold on. Let me explain to you, brother. Let me explain to you so we won't have no confusion here. Okay?
All right.
I just went through this. I know what you're talking about. But listen to what I'm saying to you. The one that you're talking about, they have both of those birth certificates of mine, mind you. The one that you're talking about was written in. They would not accept that when I went to go get a passport. I got you on all that, but I'm talking about dealing with these people. The other one that you're talking about is the law. It's called a long form. Okay, I got you.
No.
2 different ones.
No,
I got you.
No. The long form is what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're saying with the. It's the long form. It's on 11 by 14 and it's green water.
Yes, brother. Listen, I got
water paper. All right. Now, here's why they wouldn't take it.
I'm not in disagreement with you, brother. I'm just trying to tell you what they're dealing with.
Okay, let me
tell you what they're dealing with.
Let him explain his side so we can hear both. Explain, Ron.
I got what he's saying.
All right. They would not take your long. They would not take your long form because it was a certificate. They have the original long form locked up and sold on Wall Street. So you don't really have a long form.
Okay, brother.
They can't read.
And I wish I was in LA to take the picture. I would actually put it up online for everybody so they can see what I'm talking about. This here with me going back and forth on the phone, I can't prove it to you right here. But all I'm saying to you, rather whatever it is, I myself don't acknowledge anything unless I create it. When you're creating, when you did not yourself create it. And this is why people are getting into the jams that they're getting into, because you're trying to benefit off something that's really not necessarily yours. So what do I do?
But didn't your mother create it? Didn't your mother create this?
Yes, but and now let me go back to my mom now. My mom was unconscious to what was going on. You see what I'm saying? She didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know. This is what people don't understand. Like, you got to understand. From this point on, you and your posterity, you have to create those forms for your children. Remember I told you before, it's for your posterity. It's not necessarily for you. But our parents already put us in this predicament, this thing right here. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Our parents did this because they did not know. You see what I'm saying?
How are you going to unravel? How can you unravel?
Well, me dealing with my hold up, brother. Listen, I'm going to tell you. It's for my children. I do it every day. It's for my children. It's not for me. It's not going to happen in our lifetime. I see some things moving, but the problem is we trying to get out of it when we already been in it for a minute. I don't want to, rain on nobody's parade, but the thing is that if you read the Constitution, it tells you that it was for us and our posterity, which means future generations. So, yes, we start it now. We start this stuff now for our children. And then what happens, the children will have to fall into the same BS that we fell into. But we have to do it the right way. You see what I'm saying? We have to. All this stuff that they're doing right now, if we shut up this thing, listen, brother, it's falling apart. If you look around the world, it's falling. The most powerful tool is that media. When you look at that, when you put that on that media, they like, wait a minute, the Negroes are waking up in the States. I talk to people from all over. They saying, we got it. So you see what I'm saying? What we have to do is just producing it.
Let me tap you a minute.
Let's take some callers, but Sister Beverly, let's get some callers in. Talk me and him going back.
Okay, but we need to. Both of y'all conversing about this subject. We are learning. People is listening. They.
Okay, I know. I got you, but see, this is the problem with that. Other people have other questions too. That's why I said it may be there, but I don't want to. They just hear it. You see what I'm saying? They just hear that and just okay. Well, I say no question is a stupid question. I always say that. Period. What I want people to do is go do their research on this stuff. Because I don't I am the type I don't like people to get in trouble behind this. Even though we don't pull out all the mistakes that attorneys make when they present, when they represent people. But my thing is that when they hear this and I travel and people saying, well, you Moors are doing this or you Moors is I hear this a lot. And in reality, it really has nothing to do with it. I just was with Shamir Bay in LA. He said the same thing to me most. And I'm like, dude, it's not that. Let me explain to you what it is. Let me explain to you how this thing goes. This is what it is. And then you have other people who are in this conscious community who are clowning the conscious people. And this is what's happening. So you got to be dealing with all of this because the people are saying, yo, just give me this and give me $1,500 for a document, which is worthless. When I don't acknowledge any of these things. My grandmother was 107. when she passed. My great-grandmother. She wrote the stuff in the book. When I sat down with my elder, she told me this is what she used to do. So why don't we just create our own documents and just leave it at that right there? Okay, now
But
you have to prove it. Now, what I was
if you create your own document and you're trying to go from state to state, they're not going to take your document, right? They're not going to acknowledge.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what happens? Now, what happens is that you create in the paper trail. This is what I shared with Brother Abdullah Bay. I said, dude, listen, we had a newspaper called the El Moroccan Star. I said, Abdullah, scratch out that. Let's do this. How can we get a different audience, even a younger audience, right? I said, let's create a paper called the Illuminati. That will get people's attention. Why? Because that's where everybody's at right now. I said, inside the paper, his newspaper goes global. The paper is in every state. I said, why don't you charge people $50 to do a name correction inside the newspaper? That's smart, right? Instead of in one city, they charge you $300 to do a name change. Different. You heard what I said. Name correction, name change. Name change, $300. It get ran for a week, I think. You pay $300. I said, why don't we create a newspaper so people can pay, I said, $50, which it should be more, to have a global paper in every country, in every state. What did I just do? I just created a paper.
Why are people paying that for a name change when you can go to the county and get your name changed?
No, listen, it's the same thing, but I'm just telling you what they do. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. If you're going to a county, right, this is what they tried to tell me at the passport place, because I had two different names, right? They said to me, go to the courthouse. I said, well, why do I have to go to a courthouse when I didn't go to a courthouse to change my name? Y'all didn't, right? This is me talking to the people. What happens if I go to the courthouse now, that becomes an AKA, and that name still stands there. It's still there. See what I'm saying? As the name correction, I was telling people who want to pay that. And then they said on top of that, after you do the name change in the court, you have to do something in the paper. I think it's $300 or something. And they have to run it as your name. You follow me? But, again, if you are in have a newspaper, you pay $50, and the paper is in every single state. Like I just told you, I can go to the internet if you think that's not me, and you punch in my name, and it'll pop up. What you're doing is creating a paper trail. 5 years from now, that becomes your name after 5 years. And this is what I'm saying. And when you're doing it yourself, when you know how to do it, when I was at the passport place, they asked me, did I have anything in this name over 5 years? I said, yes. I went back to 1998 with it. Because what happened, I already created the paper trail from back then without going to a court. This is what I'm saying. It's like playing chess. So I'm telling people to do the same exact thing. Go here, create the paper trail, have whatever name that you have, your former name, put down it, X relationships with your old name, with your previous name. That's it. Just I don't care what it is. Just keep creating the paper trail, which did not cost you a dime. But if you want if you want your name globally, I said get with Brother Abdullah. Helps. What does that do? That helps bring the paper and the information out and your information out globally. So if I'm in China and I see the Illuminati paper in China and you argue with me, I can go to the paper after 4 or 5 years or whatever and say, well, this is me right here. Right there. That's me.
Well, I got a caller.
So global.
I got a caller.
Okay.
951 area code and 522. Area code 951. Are you there?
Yes. How you doing? This is David. Yes. How you doing?
Okay. Great. You on
well,
there? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is David. This is David calling from California.
Okay.
Hey, Brother Dave.
How you doing, Shabir?
I'm good, man.
Good. My question was a little off topic. You guys are switched around, but my question was, what is your view on Black Lives Matter as opposed to being a Moor?
Oh, okay. That's a good one. And let me explain it. And actually, this brother right here is actually a brother that comes to my class, Brother David, out in Cali. What happened? That's why I said, remember I said before about countering Elijah Muhammad said you don't have to condemn the dirty glass of water. people question me about Black Lives Matter, whatever that is. I don't know. I met the lady who started that at a TV station one day, and I asked her if she ever heard of Moorish Lives Matter. She looked at me like I was crazy. You know, I said, if we create it globally the same way, again, y'all got to follow the money trail. The money's being pumped in Black Lives Matter. People don't know that. I can tell you how many people were involved in that pumped money into that. I pushed out hashtag Moorish Lives Matter, and what happened, it wasn't being backed that way. Why did I do that? It's to get people to think differently. Globally, what do they mean by Moorish Lives Matter? Matter of fact, let me find out who the Moors are. So to answer your question, that's very important to do that. That's how you get the attention of the people worldwide. Something different. And that will get politicians and everybody else start questioning things like, what are these people doing? Who started this? Where did it come from? Who are these Moors? We just thought it was a certain group of people. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to do is just keep doing that. We don't have to go ahead.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is that our people calling themselves black don't understand the implications of calling themselves that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is why we do what we do, to educate people. This is why I throw books out to tell people to read. The 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro is a thin book, $5 book, right? Some people may charge $10. It's well worth it. I don't care if it's $100. But in that book, there's a chapter called Miscellaneous, and it said we were Ethiopians and Moors before the 1500s. In that book, thin book, right? You can read it in probably couple hours. So our job is to teach people who the Moors are. You have some people even in the Moors movement who are saying it's a religion. And then you got to go behind them and clean up and say, no, it's not a religion, it's a nationality. You got some people who think the Moors deal with the UCC. So you got to always explain when you go to different places what this thing is. And this is why the people who look at this don't want to be involved in it, because they see that. And then they say, well, people are charging people for nationality cards and paperwork. They see that linked to the Moors movement. If we just live being who we are, read the books. There's another book that talks about the Moors, the meaning of the word Negro. Good book. It's in there about us being Moors. But we just have to get the people the tools. And that's what the purpose of Brother Abdullah's newspaper. We had to get a certain group of people too, the Illuminati in hip-hop. That's what it was called, I believe it was, to get those younger brothers to understand it, because really the older people, with all due respect, they're looking at how they trying to find a way to get out of something. When the younger ones is getting ready to get in it, but we got to help get them before they get into this.
Right. So, so these younger people, they're calling themselves black. So when they go into court, if there's an issue and they're calling themselves black, isn't that detrimental?
Yeah, because that's a learned behavior. Again, if you go back to the radio and TV, when you watch the Roland Martins and these people, and they're on TV, they're on the ones saying black. So now, when you're watching TV, you're going to start repeating exactly what they said. Well, that's what they called us. Maybe we are black, but we got to get in front of that media too, the same way, and say, no, brother, because you would never hear me call this European white. You would never hear me call my people black. You want to hear me say he's a European, or he's a troglodyte, Incavan, one of them, but you would never hear me say white. So do you think they would have me on there that way, speaking? What happens is going to start making people say, wait a minute, I am a Moor. You see what I'm saying? So if we're not in front of that camera and doing that 24/7 like they do on CNN or any other news stations, they're going to repeat exactly what they say on TV, even in the music videos. We're now moving towards people in music videos to actually start using that. Brother Shamir Bay, most gets on stage talking about that. You see what I'm saying? So there are people who are doing it.
Right. So, but I think in law, you call yourself black. I mean, you can't. No one can be black. So
no, you can't. Black, no one can be white. No one can be black.
You're incompetent. Right.
Exactly. It's called civil letter mortuus. Means that you're civically dead in the eyes of the law. That's what it is. But again, our job as teachers is to teach people this. And this is why I travel, brother. Taj travel. We saying, look, we're not in an argument with you, brother. If you RBG, I'm rocking with you. If you're in the nation, I'm rocking with you. But my job is here to teach you. If you're the guide to the earth, brother, I am the guide to the earth because I'm going to teach. We need to build. You see what I'm saying? Our job is to build. Some people may want to use that, but I would say if you want to use it, use black or more.
Right.
I can rock with that.
Right.
If you want to say black or more, I can rock with that. And then you just have to explain it to people. That's it. We ain't got to go into long, drawn-out spills on this, man.
Right. Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, thank you. I yield the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Now, someone in the chat room is talking about the Native American Law and Justice Center, and they're saying that we need to educate ourselves through this center. So there is I don't know, is it on the internet? Is it somewhere? So they haven't told me where, but they were saying we should kind of look into the Native American Law and Justice Center.
You know what? It's funny. We went to one in Philadelphia, and a lot of the people, they don't like the word native. I don't even like that term neither. But first and foremost, they're not the natives. We are the Aboriginal people. We are the original people, the indigenous people. Mm-hmm. The people that we're looking at as being natives are, we call them GI, which are government Indians. They're government funded. They sit on reservations. We didn't sit on reservations like that. We were moved from place to place. They're not natives. And this is what happens. Anytime you disconnect yourself from the land, like the brother was saying, black or African American, and link yourself over in Africa, you just disconnect yourself from being indigenous to this land. The definition of America from the 1920s was the Aboriginal or copper-colored natives found on the American continent by the Europeans. That is the old definition of it. Because people are not reading now, they're going to look at the newer version of a dictionary and say, well, America means blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? So you have to start reading. We're not Native Americans. We're indigenous, which is totally, indigenous is in your genes. Your genes is right there. Your genealogy is right there. It's your connection. It's your bloodline. So when you take a person and call themselves African American or black, where are you placing them at? There was an article on Facebook about the Cape Verdeans. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Cape Verdeans. Most people don't even know who the Cape Verdeans are. It's like one of the islands that you stopped off before you got here. It's an island. And it was a sister that was on there. Now, mind you, they're African. They said the reason why they don't use the word black is a whole article on it. You could probably find it online. She said the reason why, because when you're telling someone that they're this, when they know exactly who they are, you just disconnected them from their birthright. That's what we should be teaching people. Just like the two young sisters, I believe it was in Ohio, when they were two Jamaicans, I think they were 16. All this stuff can be verified. You can look it up. They were in school. The teacher called them black. They said, we're not black, we're Jamaican. And the teacher called them niggas. That's what she called them. Because they didn't want to accept the word black. You cannot. We are the only people that so-called black Americans allow someone to do that to us. Why? Because we have these sellout preachers, these sellout politicians, these sellout attorneys that's misleading our people. And they're the ones that they put on TV and radio. If you have a CBS or an NBC or whatever other degree we want to claim, I make jokes. That was a joke, too, to tell you the truth, but I know what they are. But they put them on there to speak for us. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on. And guys like Cornel West. Everybody look at him, too. He's not doing anything. He know. There's photo opportunities when these dudes get locked up. You got to understand what's going on. The real people are not on these platforms. And that's why I said I had to go a different route to at least get there to that point, and then I will bring the slower people in there that needs to be there. But you can't, if they know you're coming in this way, they're going to shut the doors on you all the way around. But we need the support of the people.
Well, we got to educate the people because they don't know. Like you say, they've been miseducated.
Yeah. But our job, that's all we do. That's all, even Brother Taj and I do. Taj may be, like I tell people, more advanced than a lot. Y'all got to play catch up with him. I'm like a lower level with him. So I just had to teach someone that's to be beneath me because we don't have the time for it no more. We have to constantly keep moving. But we're teaching people. We're teaching constantly 24/7.
We have another caller.
Really, a lot of.
We have another caller. Area code 443-784. 443.
Hotep family, how y'all doing?
Great, Hotep.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I was just calling just to get some clarification. I've been studying Kemet and Meta-Netra for a while now, and I just want to get some clarity and understanding on how do we go from being Kemites, which, we practice Kemetic science, to becoming Moors and translating and starting to study Moor science.
It's funny. They still Moors. It doesn't matter where you at. They still were Moors. There's a Stolen Legacy. There's a book. I think it's George G. James. He has a book called Stolen Legacy. When you read his book, it'll tell you how the Moors kept up with Mother Kemet, or over there. He'll talk about those issues in those books. Dr. Ben, he speaks about the Moors and how he studied in the schools of the Moors. When you read it, all the stuff is there. Again, the people that's coming out teaching us, brother, are not telling our people this piece right here. This is why the last name on the books on this land were called Moors. Rather, if you say Moriscos, Moranos, Maroons, Morays, they still referring to the Moors. We are the Cushites and the Moabites and the Hammitites. They're still Moors. The book I was referring to, I don't know how long you've been on here. One of the books is called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. It's a really thin book, brother. If you're on my Facebook, follow me. I will try to post it back up. But that book is so thin, and it will walk you through everything. Man, you will open your eyes up. But we're all the same. And when you talk about Kemet, let me give you a little history real quick on how this language is broken down with Kemet. When you look at Kemet and Pharaoh, Pharaoh was the keeper of Kemet, right? Let me show you how Europeans play their little games with us. Pharaoh was the keeper of Kemet. Pharmacy is the keeper of what? What does pharmacy dealing with?
Medicine.
Medicine, right?
Right.
Pharaoh, pharmacy, right? Kemet, chemistry. It's dealing with chemistry. It's dealing with melanin. It's going right back to us again. In New York, there's on 125th Street, I think it's anybody from New York ever saw this, they probably saw, they spell pharmacy with an F, like fire, paramaniac, language again. It's what they did is twisted everything around on you, and you're not being taught language. So when people say, well, yo, dude, we came over here on a slave ship, Atlantic slave trade. No, it was called the Ethiopian Ocean. Go look it up. It was called the Ethiopian Ocean. Why? Because it was Moors on a boat with them that was coming here. And they said the same people they saw here was over here. Now, when we're talking about Ethiopians, they was called the Habesha people from Abyssinia. It wasn't called Ethiopia. So now the same people they saw there was over here. That's why they couldn't identify us. And when you talk to anyone from Ethiopia, they will let you know the history about the Moors that was over there and the castles that was in Ethiopia. So it's still going right back to us. It's just the language they switched. In Spanish, I believe it's called Morisco, which means the little Moors. The documentary that's coming out, I actually touched on that in it, the film called Out of Darkness. In there, I think I spoke of Charles Martel. Look this dude up, Charles Martel. His name is Charles the Hammer. It's still going back to us. We're not different, brother. We're all the same. But to make it uniformity, that's what Noble Drew Ali was talking about. This is our land. To take you away, all this stuff is about land grabbing. That's all it's about. Mugabe said that. He said land comes first. So if I can convince you that you came from somewhere else, even though you may have, but we were coming back and forth, you don't have no claim on this land. You now want to look at these so-called people that call themselves Indians, who are not in India, because indigo means dark. You follow me? So now you're looking at someone else and calling them Indians, and they're claiming something that's already yours on your land. So we don't need no papers. We don't need all this other crazy stuff. We just need to start proclaiming who we are on our own land, be it if it's in Africa or if it's over here. It's not Europeans. We are the only Americans. We are, not United Statians. It's total difference. America is North, South, and Central, which is Canada, which is Brazil, which is Venezuela, which is Cuba. All that's America. So we're not talking about the new United States, which is totally different. And no one walks around and say that they're United Statians. America is your land. I just told you what it was called. It was said the Aboriginal or copper-colored natives found on the American continent by the European. And while we watch TV and you ask everybody in this country, but they never tell you what's the name of the country. They never say that. But yet, if I just told you America was a continent, you watching the news, now you repeating directly what they just said on the news, my country, but never question what's the country's name. You have all these people mad, say I'm not an American, instead of saying I'm not a United Statian, no, you're not an American. You're not a United Statian, you're an American. But there's a book called A Country with No Name. Look this book up. I believe the guy's name is Sebastian de Garcia. A Country with No Name. And it speaks about this country not having a name. This is what you got to do. Do the research on it. And then this is how you arm yourself when someone comes to you and you challenge them on it. Your nationality has nothing to do with your religion. Your religion could be a Jew. Your religion could be a Christian. Your religion could be a Muslim. But you have to understand the origins of all of that. You follow me?
Okay, caller.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Appreciate the information.
Yes, sir, family. Follow me on Facebook, man. Sabir, SABIRBEY, or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all the same. I just made it real plain. And a lot of my old shows are up there. The Shamir Bay show at LA Talk Live.
Okay.
Okay, hello?
Yes, he's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is why I said we need to talk to other people instead of downing these other people because they don't know. Our job is to teach other people what this is. We are all one. We are the majority of the people, and the Europeans are the minority. Let's keep it 100. They're minority, we're the majority. It's what we calling ourselves. If you're calling yourself African American, you just made yourself a minority. If you're calling yourself black, you just made yourself a minority. That's it. It's, people take it personal instead of doing their research. Again, Sister Beverly, I always say this, like, I don't want to wait till the last minute. That's why I say call me up. If you want to correct me on something, correct me, just come correct. That's it. Cross T's, dot I's. That's it. Leave your emotions, let your emotions be crucified, like Lauryn Hill said. Leave it alone.
Right.
All right. You ready?
And so
kind of quiet over there. We got prick.
No, I was reading something and somebody in the chat room had sent me something. Brian, are you still there with us?
Yes, I am. I'm just listening, trying to get a hold on, the whole package. I'm looking at Title 28 USC, subsection 1733, Section B. It says properly authenticated copies or transcripts of any books, records, papers, or documents of any department or agency of the United States shall be admitted in evidence equally with the original thereof. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to explain to the brother he didn't have it. His paperwork was not authenticated, so they didn't have to take it.
Hold up. Hold up.
Another
you say authentic. Hold up. Let me explain something. Don't say what wasn't authenticated. Let me share this with you, bro. I'm very familiar with it. I had authenticated stuff. I know that I had to pay to go get a birth certificate sent from Philadelphia back to LA. I didn't probably give them again. I told you everything but blood, brother. They got 2 birth certificates, 2 IDs. I know what I went through. I know what I went through on the phone. I got everything that you're saying. Everything.
But this is
one wasn't, one was.
Right. This is what you said, that you like to deal with the rules and the laws, and you like to bring your evidence.
But I said I did that, though.
But I
did that, though. But you're telling me something.
I understand. But I'm saying to you, this is what you would have to use to fight them in court if you went that far, or a lawsuit. I think we're going to have to end up in court sooner or later because they're not going to abide by any document that
brother,
we do.
Listen. Do you understand? Listen, brother. Listen, let me tell you something. Do you know how they don't discredit you in court, brother? Listen, let me share this with you, man. People keep saying the court. I'm with you on this, man, on that part. But listen, did Bill Cosby go to court where they discredit this dude? What did they just do? If you want to discredit and prove them wrong on everything to the media, you take it to the press. When people say, well, we don't own it. Yes, you do. You're on Blog Talk, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook. It's global. So what you do is put it out there to everybody. I'm familiar with every title to the United States codes, to the CFR. I'm familiar with all of them. It ain't just the United States codes. The Code of Federal Regulations, I'm familiar with that too. Taught that. Title 26, familiar with it. Title 26 tax laws, I'm familiar with all of that. The thing is that I'm telling you what I'm going through with them. I did that. But also they don't really, a lot of them don't necessarily follow it the way they should neither. That's another thing.
That's the only reason I brought it up. I wasn't challenging your paperwork, but I was trying to explain to you earlier about the authenticated birth certificate. And I mentioned to you that it had to be authenticated because it becomes the original. So there's nothing else for them to have but if you got it authenticated, you got the original. So when I say you, I'm not talking
brother,
about you.
I got you. But that wasn't the problem. Okay. My problem was a name, and my problem was the name. That was the problem. It was not none of that what you're talking about. If I'm rocking with the old former name, it would have been straight, is what I'm trying to tell you. When people are telling people this stuff, this is where I'm going at with it. When people say that that's all you need is this, and you have a passport in your former name, or you have a state ID in your former name, or you know, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't fight it from that route. I was fighting with my name corrected, or my name me not going to court. That's what I'm talking about. When I share with people, if that's a fact that you did that, show me your credit card, your ID, and your passport with your name now. Do not show, ask them that question. When you go over, ask them that. Let me see that in your wallet. And I've done that to people, and they pulled out their former names. You see what I'm saying? Or the excuse that they would give you is that, oh, I don't want it, I don't need it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't want it. Then you tell me when you went to the TSA or you went through the airports, wherever you went at, what did you use? That's all I'm saying. That's it. Let's be keeping it 100 with people. Do not mislead people. That's all I'm saying, because I've seen it. I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying to you. If you're going to do it, I'm just telling you the correct way of doing it. If you want to do it, create a paper trail. Just create a paper trail. Let's keep writing.
That's very good. I totally agree with you there. You got to have a paper trail. And that you got to know how to do it. I don't know. You said you had yours for over 5 years, or they told you to show them something.
No, I had no. Let me explain this to everybody on how I did this. In 1998, I did a name correction. It was Sister Jean L., Brother Kamar Gabriel, and Brother Taj. You need 3 signatures as proof. The same thing I went to the passport place. When I went there, I had 2 witnesses stating who I was, right, with my name now. They swore that that's who I was. I said I was going to tell people this. I'm not going to give up everything yet until I get it and actually show people. Because if I say this, somebody's going to jump up and say, oh, I figured it out. Guess what? Give me 10,000. Some crazy stuff. I figured it out. No, you didn't, because it's deeper than that. But my name correction was done by, signed by Jean L., regular sheet of paper, Kamar Gabriel, and Taj in 1998. I took that paper everywhere I was going to go. Didn't pay anything for it. Took it to everywhere because I knew I was taught how to do it beforehand. You follow me?
Right.
I was taught this. So I was taught to go to these places and go to the DMV and get my name corrected on my driver's license. And then from the driver's license, it led to other things. You see what I'm saying? So it was a paper trail. When I was going to get the California driver's license, they told me, well, we need your birth certificate. This is what they said. This is reality, right? I'm just telling you facts. They said, well, we can't use this name. Now, mind you, I just told you I had this name over 15 years, right? So they told me I could not use this. We have to use this. You know what I said to them? That would be committing fraud because I don't use that. But I couldn't do anything, right?
Right.
Until my passport comes in. Then I can do that. You see what I'm saying? So when people say things that's all you got to do is do this, then I say, show me that you did it. That's it. But I'm going to show you something different. I know better than that. I know it's not that simple, not that easy, but when people pay this money, instead of sitting down here learning it or having us come and speak to you on it, they'll say, yo, this is what this person sold me. Not saying it's right or wrong, but you showed me your stuff first, that you corrected everything. Period.
Yeah.
Show and prove. That's all I'm saying.
How much trouble? You don't have to go into detail, but how much trouble did you have with putting a new name or a different name on your passport? Was that difficult?
None. I just told you that. Oh, I just told you the drama. I just went through. I just had to literally give them. I mean, brother, listen. They asked me for baptismal, because this is what she said to me. The name on a passport, you can get any name on there. She said they just want to know if you're a citizen. The reason why the two oaths that I had to get inside that room is to show that I was a citizen. Because Mexicans do the same thing. People don't understand that. Mexicans, you can just come in and have witnesses and somebody that was here already and say if they didn't have a birth certificate. Because you can get a passport without a birth certificate. People don't understand that. You can.
Right.
But you just got to know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So because of my name, and then they looking at this, and this is what she said to me. Since 9/11, and I'm going to keep telling people this, because even on the Social Security card, my name is Shamir Bay. But she said, and we did it without paying. This is what she told me. Since 9/11, they made it harder for people to do things like that. I said, well, I have nothing to do with 9/11. You see what I'm saying? You have to know that. But I know how to do it. I just don't say anything because these wannabe people keep saying, well, yeah, I figured it out. Well, no, dude, you didn't. I can show you, I can poke holes in all of it. And and you didn't show me any of your stuff that you did it. Period. This is why they asked me for my ID. They just asked me for two old IDs over 5 years. Now, I had a driver's license in 2001. Now, they're only 4 years. So I sent them, both of them in to them with my name on it, and it had my fez on. So I'm now waiting for them to respond now. My thing is to show you that I know what you got to go through.
So what you're saying is, in order for you to travel, especially out of the country, you can't travel unless you're a citizen? Is that what they're saying? Because you're not really.
That's what they probably saying. Well, the thing is that I understand the game on that. They're talking about a whole hyped up protection thing. That's what they're talking about. If you needed to come back or whatever, something happened. Again, if we're talking about doing things, I say to people, where's your embassy at? Where's your people that's going to protect you when something happens?
Yep.
I'm waiting. Where are they at? You can't even get them cats to back you in the state, let alone go somewhere else. You say, yo, dude, I need such and such. My cat was in a tree. I had to, he broke his leg jumping out. I got to go to the hospital to help him. You see what I'm saying? So how in the hell, let's be realistic with it. Who's going to come to your aid over there? We have to start building alliance with people. And what I said I was doing is to go and build alliance with people, not just on the internet or on a phone. I mean sitting with other people and building with them about us back here in the States. That's what a diplomat does. I'm going to another country, not a diplomat in your own land. I'm going to another country, just like Wall Street. I mean, not Wall Street, the Capitol. They pay people to go up there to speak for them. This is where my head is at with stuff. Okay, you want something to stop? Then you pay this person to go over here and speak for you. That's where I'm at. Speak intelligently. Let's go. Not emotions. No beliefs. That's facts. Let's go. We need to start operating like that. If this person is good at that, then you send this person to go speak for you. A brother asked me one time, where are the Moors at when this stuff was jumping off in Baltimore? He said, well, I don't see the Moors, or why ain't nobody come down there? Because nobody's backing them to go down there. We supposed to, as soon as something kick off, we supposed to, yo, he's the one to go. We're going to pay him to go speak for us. Let's go. We don't do that. You see what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. That's how you make real change. Now you're sitting there with all these people, dignitaries, all of them. And you're sitting. I give Brother Ali Muhammad credit for what he does. I give another brother, Mahdi L. in Philadelphia for doing what he's doing. He has a court set up in Philadelphia in the Criminal Justice Center. It's called a faith-based court. But the thing is that These brothers been doing it. You see what I'm saying? We've been doing it. We're not out here selling people. We've been doing it, and we're moving to that next level while other people coming and fleecing people. We're saying, look, okay, this person does this. He got that set up. I got him. Or he doing this. I'm a speaker. I'm a radio personality. I've been like, look, I've been telling people, yo, let's get this radio joint jumping. We're in a different realm. Yo, we over here. That's why I said I don't really, the blog is cool, but when you talking about getting the masses of people, you have to get where they at. You have to go where they at. And then they'll just drop little jewels on them. They'll get it. That's it. But we have to move beyond that. But you need the credentials. I trust me, brother, I was one that did not want a passport. I used to fight against that. But it hindered me not to have it. And I've got people coming in saying, brother, you should get here or you should go here. And, yo, if you got money, you ain't got to worry about a passport. You just say, hey, here's a stack. Bam. And go through. You follow me? But if you're dealing with this, you're going to have to. It just, again, knowing how to play chess. That's it. Having this stuff does not, as a conscious Moor, does not give them jurisdiction over you. If you are property, then you are property. Property got to ask permission. But if you're conscious to what is going on, then you can maneuver within it. You see that there's a difference. That's why I said let's just be straight up with people. It's, you know, sometimes I feel like this Malcolm scene to get your hand out my pocket, and I know some people feel some type of way about that, but I don't care. Dude, it's not right what you're teaching people. That's why I know they probably listening on this show right now. They're not going to call in because they know I'm right on what I'm saying. Because you say
we do have a caller, 585-328. 585.
Hotep, Sister Beth. Hotep, Sister Beth. I love the young brother on. I love what he's saying. He's a breath of fresh air. And that's all I want. That's all I wanted to say. And I'd like to know more about how to research him, how to get in touch with him, because he's speaking so much truth tonight. And that Black Lives Matters. It was Robert X that told you where that came from. That didn't even come from black people.
No, that's white.
Wow. See what I'm saying? Now, I met the sister.
That didn't even come from black people.
It didn't. You got to understand.
No.
Listen, let me tell you. When you watch media, they had it at the end of Empire, that show, right? They had it at the end of Empire, and I said, I wonder how much they paid these people. Like, no lie, I was at Revolt TV. I used to do inside work, and I met the girl in there. They said, yo, I forgot her name, and the brother said, yo, this is Brother Shamir Bay. He does LA Talk Live, blah, 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 blah. And I said, how you doing? She said, oh, this is the person that started Black Lives Matter. So I said, hey, how you doing, sis? You know, how you doing? I said, well, you know about Moorish Lives Matter? She said, what's that? No lie. It's just how it was in the studio. And she said, what is that? I said, what is Black Lives Matter?
Where is black? Where is black country at?
It don't exist.
And that's what I'm saying, yes. And, you know, that's what I've been saying to my grandbabies. You're blackamoors. You're not black. Blackamoor. So when you give that, right, that's like saying, because people have an issue with saying, well, blackamoor. I said, okay, let me explain. Before we were called black, we were called blackamoor, Negro, all them stages of what we want. If you want to give the adjective to the noun, that's cool. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving you the adjective describing the noun now. Here you go. I'm giving you both. So what happens, that's why I say in the book, when you look at things, when that girl, what's her name, the European girl that was working for NAACP, what's her name? What's the girl name?
Yeah, I don't know.
The
West
one
Coast.
she was the one she was saying she was black?
Yeah. What's her name?
The white woman?
Right.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you something about them. This is when you know the law and you understand the languages, and when you do radio like that. Let me tell you what she did. And everybody was tripping off of this. When I went to the show, I was like, listen, she's actually a law professor. People don't understand that. She has a law degree. People don't know that, right?
Yes, she does.
When you're dealing with this, you're going to choose your words very carefully. She said, when they asked her was she black, she said, I refer, she said African American. No, she said, they asked her was she African American. She said, I refer black. I prefer black. This is what she said. They kept asking her, do you prefer African American? She said, no, I prefer black.
Why? Because you look up the word black, she is that. It's spelled B-L-E-A-C. I'm going to repeat this for everybody again, when you understand language. B-L-E-A-C, which means bleach, avoid a color. So that's what it is, right? So she can be that.
Right.
So she can be that. So what happens, the emotions now, everybody's caught up in emotions. That's why I said let your emotions be crucified. Leave them alone. Let's deal with factology. When you're dealing in court, you're dealing with facts, not opinions, not beliefs, none of that. You're dealing with the facts. Nouns are facts, okay? N-O-U-N, nouns, or now is facts, not belief systems, not opinions. When you're dealing with people, they're dealing with opinions or belief systems. Belief means that you don't know. Belie is in between belief. Look it up. Belie, belief. You see the lie in beside belief. So now, if I'm telling you constantly I'm dealing with factology or facts, I'm only bringing facts until you prove me wrong. And that's when you start dealing with law. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm coming with the law now. I'm going to show you, not my belief system, not nothing I read off saw on YouTube. It's that I researched these things. I've been in law.
You are so on point. You are so on point. You are so on point.
You know, but thank you, sister. But I'm just saying, I'm sharing this with people so they can understand why. I mean, I spent hours in law library. I could have been an attorney in Philadelphia and a judge in Philadelphia. I turned it down because I saw what they were doing to people. I saw it. I said, wait a minute, that's not. Now, if I wasn't a person for people, I'd have been over here getting like 80 grand. Forget y'all. And what happened, it was that a prosecutor that came to me and told me one day, he said, Brother Shabir, this is the only way that you can get money in this is to either one, the philosophy of law or the practice of law. I said, well, brother, I'm done practicing. That's like playing basketball. When you finish practicing, you're done. When you going to perform? There's a difference. So there was a total difference. So what I did is went to the radio to teach people this. And I used to come out of my pocket every week to do this for people, but it got too heavy. And then I'm fighting against my own and the people that didn't want y'all to know this information. So that's why I said, brother, I knew what you were going through. So I had to revamp myself when I went to L.A. and said, well, I'm not going to touch that no more. I'm going to deal with entertainment. I'm going to flip it from entertainment to edutainment. Education and entertainment. That's it. I'm going to give you that because it's to entertain your mentality. That's what entertain means. So I'm going to edutain it.
Well, please give out the audience how they can get in touch with you and see you and get to see you on the internet. Because I'm looking at the show. I'm listening to the show right now, and I have my paper and pen ready. Love you, brother.
The show.
Thank you,
sister. My show. All my shows you can get. Actually, I believe you can catch them on my website at www.thesabirbayshow.com. That's SABIRBEY.com. SabirBayShow.com. Or you could just punch that in Google or YouTube. You actually will see a lot of that stuff up there. And for any kind of booking anyway, you can go to info@thesabirbayshow.com. Everything is really simple. info@SabirBayShow.com. Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff is up there. But it's just trying to get this stuff out to people. Like I said, I walked away from it for a long time and said I don't want to deal with it because I'm looking at these people and he's not saying where they got this information from. They giving them half the stories, and then when I travel, they think it's us unless they listen to my show, and I'm like, no, because I'm giving you the opportunity to challenge me on what I'm saying. If I'm wrong, then come rescue me. I'll take it.
Well, Shabir, we're down to our last 2 minutes here, and so I appreciate you again. And what's the name of the movie that's coming out?
The documentary is called Out of Darkness, and the website for it is called outofdarknessfilm.com. That's actually outofdarknessfilm.com. This is the website. And I'm going to tell you, y'all will not be disappointed. It's like 3 movies in one, 3 docs in one.
Okay.
It's
all right.
off the hook. Yeah.
Okay, Shamir.
All right, and I want to thank you and thank my Detroit fan. Hopefully, there you go again. I'm going to change my name to that. You know that?
No, you don't.
But listen, I want to give a shout out to my man Amadeus Price and putting that film together, too.
Okay. All right. Thank you again. Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Okay, Ron. So
yes.
We're down to our last minute. Do you have anything that you want to say to the people before we off the air?
Well, all I can say is he had a new view to me, and he's very educated. He made that, not when I say very, he has an education. So it's difficult, when you're dealing with rank and file. I don't have that type of education.
Yeah, because he teaches at a lot of the lectures at a lot of the colleges.
Yep, and he likes to use, or not likes, he uses it to overpower to make his voice be the only view that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
That he's teaching is more than difficult for the rank and file. So we'll just keep struggling and try to reach that plateau that he sets out, because the brothers that he runs with, I'm familiar with some of the brothers, and I've talked with them, and I have reservations about some of their teachings. So all I'm trying to do is, like I've always said, trying to free myself and raise the consciousness of our people, and then let them make the decision which way they want to go.
Right.
Like that last female caller, that was a good call. She heard it, she enjoyed it, so her next move would be to, like she said, I want to be more in touch. That's all good, because we got so much work to do and so many places to go. We need all the outlets we can get. So at least she's going to get involved and move, to listen to the brother and go ahead and do her thing. So all of that's good. So.
Yeah, and I think it's not just no one road to come down. It's so many different paths, just like it was different tribes, Yeah. So
I was trying to ask him that. Yes. See, he had a lot of he paid his dues. I'd like to know his age. He paid his dues. He struggled for a long time. He was running with some of the heavy brothers, that have been out there a long time. Most of us don't have that luxury to be around those type of guys, And the system changes every day against us. Yeah. So the things that he teaches and talks about, and then even the birth certificate. Now, he never mentioned the fact that the problem he had was not with the birth certificate; it was with the name. But I never heard his Christian name. If you're going to change your Christian name and to a Islamic name or a spiritual name, there is going to be a problem, a major problem. And then when you start fooling with their documents, they're going to tell you, like they tell you right downtown here in Detroit, you got to have a Michigan driver's license or Michigan ID with a picture on it before we can do this and do that, And that's understandable. I understand that clear as a bell. I'm working on a process to try to get around that. I'd love to get my paper trail started so I can get really into my spiritual name, But he didn't tap on that. He was holding that back. Every time he got close, he said that he wanted to hold that back. He didn't want to put that out. And if he had to put it out, it'd be $10,000, $40,000 that he would charge. So, we all are guilty of trying to make the dollar, trying to make the buck, and we make it sound better because we have a better education and a better language, but we're all saying the same thing. We want to be free, and we still have to live. So freedom is not free. Now, if you pay that money, I think that's paying your dues. When you pay all that money and the stuff don't work, you'll wake up sooner or later. I guarantee you. You ain't got to worry about asking him, show me someone that did it. You're going to stop putting your money out there when it don't work. And that's what I tell most people. I don't want to give up information because it's not going to work for everybody. And if your head is not on right, it's not going to work for you. You can take all the paperwork that he has. You can have all of that. And if you don't know what to say when they confront you, you're going to be in trouble. Period.
That's true. That's true.
So we got to study.
Educating yourself. That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about. And I try to do it in a way that's going to help people, more so than his method. It was not confusing to me, but it was difficult for me because you hit the nail on the head when you said we can read, but we don't comprehend.
Right.
I can read some of this legalese garbage, and I sit there and say, my goodness, what the Sam is did I read? Go back and read it again and read it again, you know. But guys like him, he sound like with his background, I'm sure he can understand that kind of stuff, you know. And that's why I like Jonah Bay, because Jonah can understand it, but Jonah will explain it to you when he understands it. And Jonah's on the right track when he says you need to learn your state constitution. That's where your freedom lies, in your state constitution. So it was all good. I'm glad I heard the brother, because we got some obstacles out there that we got to deal with. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
You know.
So
all right.
It's like say, okay, and so now they can watch us Wednesday at on WHPR TV 33 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Correct. And we'll do our regular show from 6 to 8, and then that television time will come in for Detroit, and that will be on Comcast 90 cable. Okay. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how that's going to work, you know. Okay. And they suggest that we bring our computers, and if one of them, you know, if we have trouble, we just have to shut one of them down.
Yeah.
You know, but it's going to be a lot of electronic stuff in there, because what's going to happen when the television comes in? That's going to bring on another a wave of electrical electronics. You know what I mean? So I'm going to bring mine, and I advise you, you know, to bring yours, and we'll set it up, and we'll get started. I'll get over there about 5 o'clock, 5:30 at the latest, and we can set it up and go from there.
All righty. So I will talk to you.
And I'll be on in the morning.